Okay, let us continue. Uh, it's about the standard limp leads. Okay, so in the standard limp leads, we had lead 1, lead 2, lead 3. Lead 1, lead 2, lead 3. Okay, so as we have said, the standard limp leads are bipolar, in which they have positive and negative. So in this illustration, you can see the positive and negative. So this is the right arm, left leg. You will wonder why there is no right leg, isn't it? It's only left leg. The right leg is the neutral one. That's why it was not presented here. So when you put the wires in your right arm, left leg, and right leg, it shows, it monitors these three views. Okay, the standard limp leads. They have six. The other one is the augmented leads. So for the standard limp leads, so this is how it goes. So for the lead one, no, negative to positive. Lead 2 is negative to positive. Okay, lead 3 is negative to positive. Okay, so how many views? We have three views. Okay, so for the lead one, this is the view, lateral view of the heart. Lead 2, inferior. Lead 3, inferior. So it's very obvious that the lead 1 is the lateral. Both lead 2 and lead 3 is the inferior. So if you can see the line, uh, that the lead one is at the straight line from the left to the right. Okay, that's why it's the lateral view of the heart. Okay, okay. So for the augmented limb leads, okay, again, as we said, we have here a point of the reference is at the center of the heart, right, which is negative. So we have the AVR, AVL, and AVF. Okay, AVR, AVL, AVF. So what is the view? So AVR, there's no view of the part of the heart. Okay, AVL, lateral, AVF, inferior. Okay, so next we go to the chest leads. So chest leads, how many wires do we have? We have 6 wires, or we have 6 electrodes that we are going to place to the chest. Okay, so here we have to remember this one. So later on, this one, when we place our electrodes, okay, in the chest, it's very important that we know the location. So first thing to know is the sternum. Okay, is very important for your reference. When you put the V1, okay, V1 is actually in the fourth intercostal space. So when you count here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was placed on the fourth intercostal space. And then it will say right external border. So this is the sternum. Okay, and this is the right external border on the fourth intercostal space. That is the exact location of the V1. So if you try to locate your sternum, hold your sternum on your chest. Okay, the first, or the B1, is located on the fourth intercostal space. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, just beside your sternum, just beside the sternum. Okay? And for the B2, it's the same, just opposite of the B1. It will be located at the left on the fourth intercostal space also. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, our point of reference, our sternum is left external border. Okay, so fourth intercostal space, left external border. Okay, that's our B2. And when we place our B3, usually when we place the B3, we place first the B4. Okay, we place first the B4. And if you notice, B4 is already on the fifth intercostal space. So it was already located here. Actually, it was located already on your uh, fifth. Okay, so here, how can we locate the location of our B4? Okay, so the location of our B4 is, what you are going to do is go to the mid-clavicular line. How can you measure your mid-clavicular line? So if this is your clavicle, okay, from the maneuvrum, the head of the sternum, okay, to your acromion process here on your shoulder, okay. Actually, you can palpate this sternum and go to the center of the sternum, and it's called the mid-clavicular line. And draw a line going down, okay. While going down, count fifth intercostal space. So you are there in the fifth intercostal space. Okay, place the B4, and then in between B2 and B4, you can now place your B3. Okay, and then actually B4 until B6 are aligned. So where will you put the B5? Again, there is an imaginary line here, which is called anterior axillary line. Okay, so between the mid-clavicular line and the mid-axillary line is called your anterior axillary line. So draw a line again there, okay, and put the electrodes just beside the B4, in line with the B4, and then the B6. The B6 is in the mid-clavicular line already. Yeah, in the mid-axillary line, I should say. Okay, so this is the mid-axillary line. Actually, in your here is the mid-axillary line. Okay, and place the B6. Okay, just beside the B5. So B4, B5, B6 are in line in the fifth intercostal space. Okay. Okay, so remember, B1 is in the fourth, B2 is in the fourth, but B1 is the only one placed on the right side of the chest. And then B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Okay, so what we should remember here is the chest line. Okay, so there are three chest lines that we are going to memorize. Maybe this one is coming out to your board exam. Okay, so the location of your B4 is in the mid-clavicular line at the fifth intercostal space. B5 is anterior axillary line in the fifth intercostal space. And the B6 is in the mid-axillary line in the same of the B5. Okay, so what chest lead is in the right? It's only the B1. Now there are color code that we are going to memorize here. Okay, so later on we will talk about the color coding of these electrodes that we are going to place in our chest. Okay, so red, yellow, green, brown, black, violet. Okay, so those the color. Okay, so lead B1, fourth intercostal space to right of the sternum. The view of the heart is the septum. B2, fourth intercostal space to the left of sternum, the septum. B3, directly between B2 and B4, anterior of the heart. B4, fifth intercostal space of the left midclavicular line, anterior. And B5, level with B4 at the left anterior axillary line. And B6, level with the B5 at the left mid-axillary line. So, B5 and B6 lateral or the sides of the heart. Okay? B3 and B4 is anterior or front of the heart. And the B1, B2 is the septum, the center of the heart. Okay?